Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror.
So today we want to do a deep dive into the new movie, Heretic.
Now, where this isn't going to be really a review, Ashley and I took our own separate notes while we were watching this. Mm-hmm. We don't know what either one even thinks about this movie, but we wanted to do a deep dive and talk a little bit about it. So I want to start off with, you follow your two Jehovah's Witnesses, which are Sophia Thatcher and Chloe East. And they're not Jehovah's Witnesses. They're from...
they're Mormon.
They're Mormon.
Yeah.
And they go and they talk about the Mormon church. And they start off with a very awkward sexual conversation to start this movie. Obviously, spoilers, guys. We are going to be spoiling this film.
I feel like that was added in there because, when people think of, Bible thumpers or...
That they don't ever think about it or talk about it.
They don't speak about sex
right.
or, dildos and, it's,
pornos.
It's, off limits to them.
Right.
But sex is normal for, anybody, no matter what you believe, to talk about.
Right. And really, while we're talking about that, we got an excellent job.
Oh, yeah.
By the whole cast. You had Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher as Sister Barnes, Chloe East as Paxton. And I think this handles religion, in my opinion, in a very tasteful and intelligent way. Like how they use polygamy in the Mormon religion to help build the communities.
Yeah.
And then once they didn't need to do that anymore, they stopped polygamy because it wasn't needed to build. It was, you get a lot of education about, because I don't know a lot about Mormon.
No.
I don't know a lot about that. I know a lot about Joseph Smith and, what he did. I've learned these things. But to hear us, that's the reason why they practiced polygamy, was to help to build, the community and get more people, more children. But once it wasn't needed anymore, they didn't do it. So I always thought that they were still polygamists. I thought Mormons were all polygamous, and this shows that that's not it. It also talks about Joseph Smith using the Book of Revelations as mean for his infidelities. They tackle these real issues in a fictional movie in a real way.
There's always two sides of it, and there's always going to be someone that's like, oh, okay, I understand that, and then other people are like, but that's wrong, and it shouldn't be like that. And he used this for his own sexual gratification. And when Hugh when he was talking about that's what he did, I see his point.
Right. And that's the thing. I don't think that this film tackles it in a this person is wrong or this person is right point of view.
No, but when they go back and forth and they're talking about each, their point of view and his point of view, and it's it's very intelligent.
Yes. And you can make an argument for which side is right. And this movie doesn't say this is what's right, this is what's wrong.
Yeah.
It's this is this person's opinion, these are these people's opinions. And so to weigh them against each other, I think is super... I love when a movie can do that, when it can make you think, and it doesn't beat you over the head with this person is right in their idea, this person is wrong in their idea.
Well, and this movie absolutely does, and I feel like even after the movie was over, I was still thinking about the different things that they said between each other, the different arguments that they had, and it's just it's so relevant, I guess. Right.
Well, there's a lot of tension in this movie.
Yes.
Hugh Grant, holy shit.
He did amazing, just because it's a lot of dialogue.
Yes.
A lot of dialogue.
This is a very dialogue heavy movie.
And he just he seems like this really nice guy, but then again it's just there's something
there's
about
always
him.
That darkness about him.
Yes. But he nailed the both of them.
Yes.
You feel comfortable with him, and he seems like this really sweet, nice old man, and then you see the darkness in him, and I feel like he did both of them so well.
I mean, you have Smile 2, Trap, Heretic, The Substance. This is the year of the horror character actor.
Yes.
Where you have these character actors that are playing their roles so well, and they're all going to get snubbed. for any type of awards. And
because it's a horror movie, and horror movies never get acknowledged, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter if it's just horror and it's mindless. I feel like this isn't a mindless movie. This isn't
super intelligent movie
that you can just be like, oh, let's turn our brain off and have fun with. Like, this is very intelligent. And and Hugh Grant, he did amazing.
Yeah. And I love how they use iteration in this movie. Monopoly really is the landlord's game.
Yes.
Just a different iteration of it. Creep by Radiohead is really another iteration of all I need is the air that I breathe and to love you.
I feel like that was just to like dumb it down for,
Yes. And the fact that they did that all is saying like these religions are a different iteration of this religion.
Yeah.
They, like you said, they dumbed it down to board games and music.
So like people like me can understand, the differences between them. Like I actually like that. I was like, okay, that's smart. Like, thank you. Yeah. I needed that.
And that's what it is, like musics, we have remakes. Movies, we have remakes. And then, that's what they're remaking their own types of religions. They're taking differences and similarities from each one and putting them together and forming into which one they believe is the right, taking the goods from this one, the goods from this one, the goods from this one, and combining them together. And again, I gotta stress this. The biggest plus for me is there is no right or wrong answer in this movie.
Right.
Like, that's what I love. The directors, the writers, they made it so it's ambiguous on, because obviously we don't know the answer. We don't know what happens when the light turns off.
Right.
We all have our faith.
Well, and like you said, like it just really deep dives into the theme. Like you can be manipulated and you can be controlled, and it just shows how easily, especially as a young child, your parents tell you this is what you believe, and then you grow up and that's what you believe. And there's no, sometimes you don't have backing, you just believe it because that's what your parents told you to believe.
You never question it.
Yeah, so it's just like it really tackles that, we can be controlled and manipulated to believe in anything, really.
And the blueberry pie death scene and resurrection is so dark. Like he tells him, he's like, you're about to see a miracle. You've seen in the trailer where you go in the disbelief or the belief door. Right. They go down there, they see this woman eat a blueberry pie, she dies, they feel her pulse, there's nothing there. There's no air. They go upstairs, so they come back, she's resurrected. So, very dark part of the movie, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, like, is it, was it real, or did he manipulate them like she said?
Right. And then we also get our boy Eric Foreman.
Yes.
There's a knock at the door, looking for the girls, and it's Topher Grace. And I literally was like, I did the Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. I did too. I really liked that he was in it, and honestly, I didn't even like recognize him at first.
Right. Until I heard his voice.
Yeah.
When I heard his voice, I was like, I know that guy anywhere. And I will say, we're gonna start getting really spoiler heavy now, guys. I audibly gasped when he cut Sister Barnes' neck.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I was shocked. I was shocked that he actually was like trying to harm them. Like I guess that's just how good he is at acting, because you think that he's just like playing a game with them, trying to get them to believe what he believes. I didn't think that he would actually hurt them.
Right. And at this moment you're like, is he one of those guys that is just trying to kill them?
Yeah. Like,
is that what his goal was? Because he went to the church to ask for more information. Topher Grace brings that up. He goes, well, didn't you come to the church to ask us to send someone over to give you an education? And he's like, what church was this? And he tells him, he's like, I did do that, but I haven't seen the girls. So at this point, you're like, did he go to the church just to kill these young girls?
Yeah.
He did not. We find out more about that later. But at this point, you're like, what is his end game now? And butterflies have a huge meaning in this story. Now, when we get to the end, we're really going to talk about this, guys. Because when Sister Paxton is talking, she says, when I die, if I'm reincarnated, I hope I'm a butterfly.
So I can
and I'm going to land on the hand
of the people that I love.
Not their head, not their arms. I will land on their hands so they know it's me. And that comes back huge, because then even Hugh Grant talks about not the butterfly effect, but a different type of butterfly syndrome or something. And like you see the butterfly up in the window. So butterflies do have a big part of this. And like I said, at the end, we'll talk more about that.
And I feel like even at the end, like me and you could have completely different.
I don't know how she feels about the end
on what really happened. Like, it's really up for your own interpretation, which is okay. Like, it's okay that they didn't wrap it up in a little, package and force feed us. The being open to interpretation, I liked it in this movie. It really works.
And I have two interpretations of this ending. One I lean a little heavier on, but I could see another interpretation of it, which we will talk about. We are going to do our own type of ending explained between the two of us. And again, I don't know what she thinks yet. Mm-hmm. We took our own notes. We have not discussed this. But he thinks Sister Barnes is part of a simulation. Earlier in the movie, you see a scar on her arm, and he notices it. Mm-hmm. After he cuts her throat, he cuts open that scar, and he pulls little vial, maybe a little metal pin, it looks like.
Yeah, just like a little metal pin type thing.
And he starts talking to Sister Paxi. He's like, I knew it. She's part of a simulation. That's why she didn't believe.
Like, I think this is contraceptive.
I think this is contraceptive to birth control. And he's like, well, did she ever mention that to you? And she's like, of course not. As Mormons, she would be shunned by the church, and she would be embarrassed.
And I feel like she has a lot that was unknown about her.
Yes.
There's a lot that you can see in her face, but she doesn't actually say.
Right. So I think that she has a past, which we all do.
We all do, absolutely.
But I love how, again, that's up for your interpretation. I do think it was a contraceptive just because of conversations they had earlier in the movie.
Yes.
I think Hugh Grant knew this as well, but he was using his way of manipulation to try to get his Sister Paxton. Then Sister Paxton gets away. We find out that, of course, it wasn't a miracle. When the one girl had ate the blueberry pie, she did die. And a girl came in through the trap door.
It was another,
a trap door in the basement, which Sister Paxton finds.
Yes.
She's like, when we came back down, she was laying there, but she was not laying the exact same way. So I figured she switched out. Well, you find the trap door. When they go down there, there's a bunch of cages with a bunch of different girls in them.
Yes.
And you're just like, what the fuck?
What is he really doing here?
Right.
And it just feels like the entire time he was just trying to manipulate these girls into thinking the way he thinks.
And then he says it. He says there is only one real religion.
Yeah.
And it's control. I did this because essentially it's the speak no evil.
Like, because you allowed me
Because you let me.
Yeah.
Because you let me.
You let me do this. You let me control you. You let me lead you here.
Yeah.
He's like, and all these women that are in here, he's like, but he's right. Because she did say, the one girl that snuck up said, this isn't real.
Right.
So she got her finger cut off. Like, Hugh Grant cuts her fucking finger off when he's trimming her nails. And it's fucking gnarly. Mm-hmm. And it goes on from there. Like, you then get another stab in the throat. And it's like, now Sister Paxton has been stabbed. Mm-hmm. She stabs Hugh Grant.
Yeah, I was going to say, no.
I'm wrong. I'm sorry. She stabs Hugh Grant in the throat.
Right.
She tries to run away again. And you have this incredible shot of her running up the stairs, but it goes between her and the dollhouse that he has, like that you see in the trailers.
Yeah. I love that shot where it zooms out.
Where it zooms out, and as it's going out, it goes from the basement to that house.
Yeah.
And you see them coming up the stairs through that, and it's an incredible, incredible shot. So she's in there, but finally Mr. Reed.
No, seriously, Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed.
He does stab Sister Paxton in the stomach. And when he does that, Sister Barnes, who we thought was dead, comes back and stabs him. So he dies. And then she dies right after. So was this a resurrection on her end to come back? They throw that out there. It's one of those moments where you're really played with... Because I thought at this point, Sister Paxton stabbed in the stomach. She falls down. Is she dead too?
Right.
Do we have 3 dead people here? But here's where we're going to get into the ending. You see Mr. Reed die.
Right.
After Mr. Reed dies, Sister Paxton gets out of the house through a window. Mm-hmm. Now, earlier in the movie, he said that everything was on a timer. He couldn't open it. That's just how it was.
We know that he lied because we watched him turn off the timer and, open the door. So we know that was also one of his lies. Yeah.
So Sister Paxton gets out. She's been stabbed in the stomach. She's crawling out. She gets out to the outside.
Yeah, and you see, it's because I love how it's so, light, and you have the sun, and because, the most of the movie is dark in the basement.
Yeah.
So it's like that reverse. Like, now it's light, and she's free.
Well, at this point, you have a butterfly that lands on her hand. And when she looks up, the butterfly's there, and then the butterfly just disappears. And that's where the movie ends.
Yeah.
So, how do you think this movie ends?
So maybe it's just I want like a happy, well, it's not really happy, but a good ending. Like, I feel like she's still alive, and that Sister
Barnes.
Yeah, that was Sister Barnes is like.
See, I could agree with that up until the butterfly just disappears. The butterfly does not fly away. It disappears. So in my opinion...
Like, she lost her belief. Like, that's when she loses her... Like,
I think she's dead.
Okay.
I think that she goes out there when that happens. Again, there's many ways for this ending to be interpreted. Maybe this is a sign from God. Don't give up.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, this,
but why would it not be why would it not be a real butterfly? Why would it be, that disappears?
Yeah.
That ties back into Mr. Reed's simulation theory earlier in the movie. Again, this movie plays with, and again, we're talking about one viewing in a cinema.
Right.
So, we couldn't really dissect it, watch it over and over again. So the two main ways that I'm thinking is, one, she didn't really make it out of the house. When that butterfly lands on her and then disappears.
I just feel like that butterfly was a sign of belief. Like, not everything is cut and dry. Like, some things you just have to feel. You can't, you can't see it. And you feel it. Like, I'm not going to go into what I believe and everything, but I feel my beliefs. Right. And I don't need anybody else to tell me that my beliefs are wrong. Right. Or that they think somewhere else, because that's fine, So
you think she made it out?
I feel like that was a sign of, like, I'm real, I'm here, like, your beliefs aren't wrong.
Well, since she says that, I'm going the other way. I say she died inside. She didn't truly make it out, and that's why the butterfly just disappears. Maybe this is her getting ready for reincarnation. Maybe this is her ready to go to heaven, or whatever is on the next plane of existence in her eyes. Because, again, I don't know a lot about the Book of Mormon. I know that Joseph Smith discovered the plates.
Right.
And then he read off the plates. I know, again, I'm not trashing any religion.
No.
That's not what our aim is here, but I'm ignorant about the situation. I'm ignorant about the subject. I don't know enough about the Mormon or the Book of Mormon to be able to speak in an educational way. So I don't know what they believe happens after death. But since you're going with the positive ending, I'm going to go with the negative ending. I'm going to say that she died on the inside, and that's just like a or maybe she dies on the outside, and that's her wishful thinking right there.
Yeah. Or it could be, now he has broken her down so badly that butterfly...
She's lost her faith.
She has lost her faith.
So there's a lot of different directions.
She could be still alive, but that was her faith just, like, leaving her.
So what would you rank this movie?
If we're going to do it out of 5 skulls, I'm going to give it a 4, I think. I felt like it's a very smart movie. It high tension throughout the entire movie. You really essentially only have 3 leads, and there's in one
they
spot.
Carry the film.
There's in one spot for most of the movie, and between their dialogue back and forth, it still keeps you entertained. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
That's fair. I'm gonna give it the same because the cast carried the movie. I want to know what's up with the magical underwear though. Like, can somebody please explain to me what's up with the magical underwear?
If you don't know, you'll
never know. So again, we both really. I don't want to speak for you, but I guess we both really liked the movie. We had a lot of the same thoughts.
I gave it a 4 out of 5, so I would say that I enjoyed it. Like I said, I was never like bored with it.
Right. What I will say, though, is this is a movie you should definitely pay attention to. Ashley was right earlier on. You don't want to shut your brain off and go into this not paying attention.
It's not a mindless one at all.
Right.
Like, it's something that you really have to pay attention to and listen to.
It really makes you think. I want to learn more about Mormon and what their beliefs are. Maybe someday I can do another talk about this and not be as ignorant to the situation because I've done a little bit of education for myself. I just don't want to try to, ad-lib about something I don't know about.
We know nothing about it.
Right.
We just watched a movie and... Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not going to wax poetic when I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So let us know down in the comments, what are your thoughts about Heretic? What do you think happens at the end of this movie?
Yeah, I would love to hear other people's thoughts on what happened, in your mind, because it really is up to interpretation. Right. So I would love to read what you guys thought. And
let us know what you think about the movie as a whole, about their take on religion, their take on the simulation aspect of things, their take on iteration and how iteration plays effect on popular media, board games, music, movies, religion. What are your thoughts overall on the movie? But most importantly, I want to know what you guys think. Is Ashley right being optimistic, or am I right being the pessimist here? So if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Our links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.